unmute it. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It would help if I took it off mute. Yes, no, maybe, maybe. Better? Better? I said what's up to everybody from ground fog all the way down. How's everybody doing? Marco, Mimo, Iron Butter Knife, Palmer, Knives Are Life, El Cap, Ginger Fisher, Joe, Heyman, Mikey Reese, Toddy Carr, Five By. What's up, brothers? How you guys doing? Get this set up really quickly here. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Got my Devo coaster. Did anybody go pick up a Pony Stout? Do. Hey, Torgun. Coming back. Coming back to the G Ballers, baby. Hey, that adds another, huh? What are we at? Ooh. We rocking in with 11. We rocking in with 11, baby. Delaney, what's up, buddy? Remember the G Ballers? Yeah, I know. I hear you, Palmer. Mikey J, remember the G Ballers? I'm doing good, man. Any day at work or not at work is a good day. Everybody smack Torgun with your G balls. There is a call, so you'll see certain levels. So I changed the 1 year emblem. I changed like 3. So there's different levels that have been changed. And then I also added a couple of the new logos in the emojis. So you'll see some people have a new emblem by their members. The 1 year I changed. I think I changed like the 6 month and then maybe like the 2 year, I think, or something. And then once you get to a certain level, it just stays. I forget what it is, maybe 4 years or something like that. I can't remember, but I changed a couple around. And then I added a few emojis as well. Took a couple old ones off and then input some new ones. Sean, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Iggy, member of the G Ballers. Mowing the lawn. It's good to see you. I saw you sneak in as a member a week or 2 ago. You little sneaky sneak. Mimo, so I hear you are going to get on IG. Yeah, come on, man. Mimo and BNA both need to get over there. Blade Walker, member of the G Ballers. What's up, buddy? Betty Davis, member of the G Ballers. Jimbo Miller, member of the G Ballers. What's happening? Flyby, isn't that prototypical of you, buddy? You lurker, you. Bless Knives, what's happening? Grinding and listening. Nice. Southpaw, what's happening, buddy? Sharpening and listening. JD is advertising for you. What do you mean? What do you mean? JD. JD. There's JD. Hey, you want to hop on, man? I don't have no I don't have anybody coming on today. If you want to hop on, man, if you ain't busy, if you got stuff to do, then that's cool too. You let me know, man. I'm gonna be just hanging out. We'll run a giveaway here after a bit. Let people kind of fill in. Top dog, what's up, buddy? Ah, I see. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you, JD. You're such a swell feller. You're such a sweller. Brian, what's up, buddy? Member of the G Ballers. Angelo, member of the G Ballers. Dwayne, member of the G Ballers. Ron, what's happening, buddy? Doing good, buddy. How you doing, man? JD gifted a Memby. And Sean just picked it up. Welcome to the G Ballers, baby. We'll change that around. We'll change that. Boo-doo-doo. Woohoo. Getting close, getting close. You can taste it. We're going to add a Hank. We're going to add a Hank to the Kaiser Sheepdog XL right now. Yeah, baby. Oh, Mimo, you need to just get one, man. It's so easy. Joe's the captain of Dr. Prepper. Oh, that's all right. Oh, all right, word. All right, cool. Let me get JD Playosaurus. What's up, buddy? Member of the G Ballers? Yes, we are going to give away a Kaiser Sheepdog XL today to one lucky member. And then I got to come up with something else, possibly as well. Donnie, what's happening? Kevin Smith, member of the G Ballers. Blade Walker coming in with 2 months. Clarence Davis, member of the G Ballers. What up, buddy? What's up, little G Balls? Daddy's home. Big Jimpin, what's happening, bud? Joe Isabella is a member of the G Ballers. Invite. Copy. I mean, the only thing, IG, man, the only thing I really use that for is I post something once in a great while. And usually it's just me messing around, but I mainly use it just to stay in contact with people. That's really all I use it for. Let me get on IG here. I mean, just think of it as a way to stay in touch with people, you know what I mean? That's all I use it for. And then once in a while I will uh I'll make a post or something, but typically that's about it. Chef Rocky, what's up, buddy? JD right there. Let me grab. Let me grab. Okay, JD sent that, brother. Let me grab the Kaiser Sheepdog XL. And let me see if I can come up with something else. Ha, 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 ha. got to be something I'm done. It's got to be something I'm done with. No, we can't do that. That'll work, I think. I think this is a kick-ass knife right here. So if we make it to 20 members, which we're close, I'll go ahead and give away this bad boy right here. 14C, micarta, deep carry clip, crazy good action for a $60 knife or whatever these are. Nice little Warncliffe pokey poke. Good flipper action, all murdered out. So we'll run that as the second giveaway. Possibly. Give away a firearm. Okay. Sure. Sure. Ooh, the Tuya Shocker, baby. That guy right there. It's amazing. Amazing. Love it, man. Good choice. You'll like it. You will like it. Aries EDC, what's up, buddy? Jimbo, coming in hot. Coming in hot, baby. Jimbo coming in with the 5-banger. Blessed Knives picked up one. Big Jimpin, Southpaw, Caleb, Brian, all picking up. Hit him with the G balls. There's JD. Let me get my thingies. Let me get my thing. And we'll bring old JD on here. Let me get my thingy-majiggies ready here. The Shocker's cool. I prefer the minivan. You ready, JD? Thummy? Thummy?
Me okay?
What's up, buddy? Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just a Saturday morning.
I feel you on that. I just finished recording so much crap. I'm
Recording
over
this
here
morning?
legit. Yeah, I'm over here legit just like loading it all up and then I gotta rename it to match it all because I use the face cam when I
Mm.
record. So I have the footage on OBS from the recording from the camera and then what I'm recording top down. And what I have to do is kind of name them to match them up to keep it all together. It's a mess.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's I'm not quite there yet.
I just decided to do it this year. If you look back over the 3 years of my channel, man, everything's top down. And I was like, well, I want to get into streaming, so I might as well play with the face cam. And a lot of the guys that I watch that influence me, I just was like, I actually like how immersive it is. Because even if I'm not making the eye contact, it's nice to be able to just have the facial reaction to what I'm doing for everyone else to see. And I'll be honest, man, sometimes I just laugh at myself when I'm playing it back.
Rewatching. I've done so what I've done in the past is like I have my webcam, that's what I use up here. I don't actually use my phone anymore. It's just a webcam I have up and then like shooting down. I've done that and use StreamYard to record and then also included like I add myself, and do like a tabletop with me in like a small window type of a
Mhm.
deal. Or
Right.
or or I switch them back and forth. I've done that a couple of times, but it's definitely even just doing that is more work than, obviously more work than just throwing your phone on the tripod and going to work. But
Like
yeah, I
some
think
people we know.
yeah, I think you're right though. It's kind of more interactive almost where people can see you and the knife, at the same time and kind of, they people who might not come to the live streams who just watch your videos,
Right.
they might not even know, what you look like or who you are really. So I do think that it would be more constructive for the channel. It is a lot more work though to go through all that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because what really influenced me to move to that direction was Blade Show last year. And it was, I recognize people who I have gone to their live stream, but I hadn't started streaming yet. So I was going up to them to say, "Hey, how's it going?" And they were like, "Who are you?" And
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, all right, so I definitely want to get into the live streams, but how else can I be more recognizable? Because I want people when I go to stuff like that, because that's like 8 hours for me to drive down there. So I want them to be able to come up, say hi to me, and I know names just like they know my channel, but they've never seen me, just like I've never seen them. So at least it helps the situation a little bit. So they can say, "Hey, JD," and then they can tell me like, "This is, G-Ball. I've been in your comments," and I now have a name with a face, which is kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that might be what it would take. Where are you at? You're down below me even, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia.
Yeah, you're in Virginia. I was gonna say, I think hell, it would take me, I don't know, what is it from here to Georgia? Because I'm in like north central PA, and I'm planning on driving down there this year. Even if it's just for like a one night thing. Maybe go. I'd like to go for a week, and I think I could, do it where we leave early and go down on like a Tuesday or something. Like leave on a Tuesday and then stay till maybe Monday or something like that.
Right.
But it's kind of a pain because you have to book your room, you have to buy tickets, and I know I could get time off, but it's hard to know what's gonna be going on at that point in time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, bud.
Yeah, and that last year was my
Good, good.
first year going down, so I kind of figured out how I want to try it this year. Last year I went down Thursday and I went to the show Friday, Saturday, and drove home Sunday. And Friday is just an absolute nightmare. Like it is jam packed, it's crowded. So many people on that first day are trying to go up and talk to content creators and knife makers. Saturday was more relaxed. It was a little bit easier to be at the show, so this year I decided I'm going to drive down Friday. So I'm
Uh-huh.
taking Friday and Monday off of work instead of Thursday, Friday, and then go to the show Saturday and Sunday. And from people that have gone, because I didn't go to Sunday last year at the show, people were like, "Man, Sunday is so chill. That it's died down so much." A lot of people that are local or whatever are staying at home to rest before Monday and whatnot. So it's a lot more relaxed. So I want to do Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, and plus the knife makers, if you're chasing something, a lot of them will put out a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday morning for people to pick stuff up. They're not going to dump it all Friday because then you have no reason to come back. So,
Yeah.
Kevin has mentioned that. Jack Wolf, Ben had mentioned that. Like a couple of people I talked to, they're like, "Yeah, we hold back this or that. We won't put it out Friday, but we'll put this out Saturday." And kind of mixing it up. So if you're chasing, you still have chance to get it because
Right.
they're holding back to spread it out through the weekend to have a reason for people to stop by. I've never really gone down to chase anything. I'm not going down to chase anything this year. Like last year was just totally random. I was like, "Oh, I remember you guys saying this was coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one if it was there." But otherwise, I really was just for the experience to meet people, to see people, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for me. And God bless my wife. She went down with me and she walked around with me, which
Mm.
I know that is not her scene at all, but she was really good about it. And she just was like, "Oh, well, who was this?" Because she's not here right now, but like she's come to recognize your voice. She'll be in
Uh-huh.
the kitchen or something. She'll be like, "Who are you watching, G-Ball?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching G-Ball." She's like, "I thought so." So she likes to put the name with the face too, because she never watches. She just hears you guys in the background when I'm cooking and I
Right.
have it playing in the background or something.
It's funny, my woman's pretty much the same way. She can not everyone, but she's been able to come to figure out like she don't watch none of the stuff, but she knows who Kevin is. Just because like he said some off the wall crap during a video and it's made her like come around and look, This was, a while back, a couple years ago, but she
Right.
knows who Kevin is. But she's been able to put voices to names now, and she's going with me uh if we go. I'm hoping we can go.
I hope
But
so.
she's gonna go with, and see down there, right near Atlanta. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but there's a TV show called uh now I can't think of it. What the hell is it called? Vampires. There's a show that we both watched, and it was based right near Atlanta, and they have like a restaurant there that was in the show that actually exists, and
Gotcha.
like a bunch of stuff like that to deal with the show, and it's
Right.
right there. So we was thinking, if everything goes to plan, that's why we would go down so early, like on a Tuesday or a
Right. Right.
Wednesday, maybe, is go there and maybe stay there for like a day or two, and then like a one night thing, and then leave the next day, and then head over to Atlanta. That's if everything goes according to plan.
Right.
But you know how that goes. No, it's not True Blood. We watch that too. We watch a lot of vampire shows. It's the one that came out right before the originals. It was tied in with that. I can't think of the name of the show for the
Yeah, I
life of
don't know
me.
a ton of them. My son and my ex-wife used to watch Vampire Diaries.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, right
That's what it
there.
is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't know a ton of them. I'm like, that's the only thing I got for you. That
Yep,
I know.
that's the one. That was based. So the originals followed that one up as the secondary, kind of like what was going on halfway through Vampire Diaries and then past that. But yeah, Vampire Diaries, that's exactly what it is. And that was based a lot around uh the Atlanta area, like right outside there in like some of the suburbs. And they have a restaurant that was in the show that actually exists. You can
Oh,
go in there and
cool.
eat, and they have like memorabilia from the show and like all kinds of crap. And like I watched it, but she loves it. She's watched it a bunch of times.
Didn't they
Uh,
record some of The Walking Dead in Atlanta, I feel like?
um,
They've
I
done quite a
think
few shows, I think, in Atlanta, it feels like.
yeah, yeah, I think they did. I want to say
Like some of the earlier seasons, I feel like.
the wooded, yeah, like some of the heavy wooded area seasons, like the first couple. I want to say it was Georgia somewhere. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought
they
so.
they went a couple places, during that show, but I think a lot of it was based. They have some of them city episodes there later on where they travel into like a bigger city, but I think for the most part, where it's all like the wooded areas and stuff, I want to say a lot of it was Georgia, and then I forget where there was like a couple main locations that they did a lot of that recording.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So the way we do it, I get to obviously the daytime for the show is my part of the trip, and then what she's been doing, she has some coworkers that are from the area, and they always tell us what to do in the evening. So last year we went and checked this one restaurant out. It was a cool experience, but it was a little too bougie for me. It was like, we spent $200 to eat there, and the steak was like, that
Ooh,
big. I was
right.
like, yeah, it was cool to do, and it was fun to be on the water or whatever. And then the other night we went and checked out the Atlanta Braves ballpark because they have a lot of shopping and eating stretched right there in front of the ballpark. So we went and did that. So she gets to plan that part of it. So it's something that she gets to enjoy too. You know, she tolerates the going to the show during the day, and then at night we go and do something that she wants to do. But I did tell the group last year, I was like, the one thing that I do regret is because at the show it's so hard because everybody comes up randomly and everybody's trying to do the best they can to talk to everyone. So it's really hard to kind of sit down and have a conversation for a minute. So I was like, we should like go get a beer and some food after the show one of those nights together. And I think that would probably be, a little bit more fun. You can kind of relax a little bit, BS a little bit.
Right.
So I'm hoping that a few folks would want to do that. But I mean, really, that's what they do in that main hotel, which I I I would love to do that, but it's very expensive for the rooms. I get like a room that's within walking distance at like a Hampton Inn or something for half the price. So for me, I'm paying like $600 for 3 nights, and it would be like 1,200 to go to that hotel that everybody's staying up in. And I'm like, I want to go, but I don't want to spend that much money on it. That's like an Aries.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't stay there either. I'd have no problem walking, a few blocks or whatever it is, half mile or whatever.
Yeah, the first time we went down, we found one that was kind of in between the ballpark and the show because they're really close to each other. And it was actually further walk, but it was more expensive than that Hampton Inn that I found when I actually went down and got to scope the area out. You have to cross this walkover bridge that carries you over to where the show is, where I stayed the first time. And
Uh-huh.
this hotel that we're staying at this time, I saw it when we went down there. It's on the opposite side of the bridge, so it's on the same side as the building that you're going into. So it's a shorter walk, and it's less expensive than when we stayed the last time we went down there.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some looking, but that's pretty much the same route I'm gonna take. I don't think I'm gonna, just it'd be nice, you know what I mean? But I'm in the same ship. I don't want to spend I want to spend as little money on getting there and staying
Exactly.
there as
Right.
possible,
Right.
and then and I'm the
Well,
same way too. I'm not going down for anything. I think that way I don't have there's some stuff I wouldn't mind picking up, but it's not like I'm going down there just for this, and then you might not even get it, you know what I mean? Then you kind of, psychologically ruin your whole trip just because you couldn't get this or that or whatever, so I'm just going down, if I find some stuff that's cool, but like you said, I'm mainly going down just to, hang out, meet people, in person,
right.
uh, that
Right.
type of
For
stuff,
the
but
experience, man. And then
yeah, yeah,
plus, if you wanna buy something, if you can save a little bit of money on the room, that's a little bit more money that you can spend on something if you're going down there. I mean, that's my approach anyway.
right. Yep. Hey, there's Lefty. I see Lefty popped in. What's up, buddy? Getting in the shower. Roach
Yeah, I'm
just
really looking
became a
forward to it, man.
member.
This morning kicked my butt. I hadn't done one yet, but I did the scale and ball cage for the Manix 2 lightweight since they can be disassembled now.
Oh yeah.
It was 42 minutes of recording
Ooh.
because I didn't realize OBS cut off. I got to look at my settings. It cut off at 30 minutes. So I got to the end at 32 minutes and I had to go back and like record the last little bit. I was so pissed, man. I was like, oh man. But I was kind of taking my time because I don't know if you've ever done any of the applied weapon tech scale install, but it seems
No.
like with the lightweight line, you have a little bit left over. So like this screw right here where my finger is, that's
Huh?
missing on this scale. They don't use it. So you have like that whole set left over, and then there's support braces here that's left over. So I was really taking my time, kind of looking to make sure like I'm not leaving anything out I need, right? Just to make sure it was right. And then I get to go back and kind of edit all that together to be like able to be digested.
Right. Yeah, man. I remember I took apart the smock and put these titanium scales on it and I recorded it. This was early when I just started, and I've watched it once since then. It's been probably a year ago at this point, but it was excruciating to watch. Like, not just like the disassembly, but like me and the whole entire thing. And people actually not many people, but people actually watched that crap back then. It was excruciating, man. I was like, I don't know how people watch
Yeah,
watch this
smock is
crap.
one that if you've never done it before, you should check out somebody's video because if you don't
Yeah,
know to expect that secondary detent ball in there, if you're trying to keep it, you got to be prepared for that because depending on how you lay that knife down, it's a pain. And you know that
yes.
little detent ball, depending on where you work, and you can lose that real quick. And Spyderco is a little bit of a pain to try to get those extra parts from when something like that happens.
I've heard that. I've heard that. Hey, Dugan, member of the G Ballers. WTP, member of the G Ballers. Humphrey, member of the G Ballers. Sterling, Milton, Homer, Makuso, Bluetooth, Joseph. What is happening, everybody?
Yeah,
Um,
One Moon's asking. Yeah, they have quite a few One Moon in the comments. He's asking if there's stuff within walking distance. There's quite a few within walking distance, and none of it's cheap, but there's more affordable stuff. Like I think um the room I have is somewhere like 150 a night, and then last year when I went down, it was like a little over 200 a night for that first hotel that I stayed in, and then I can't remember what the one that everyone stays in is called, but that one's around 300 a night. So it's super pricey, but a lot of people like that because it is the closest to the venue, and then everybody can go down into the lobby and kind of hang out, which is another reason why I don't want to go there. Because if you're trying to do something more intimate with people that you're more close knit with, you still have other people coming through talking to you, so you kind of face that same challenge that you do at the show of you can't carry on a conversation for too long before other people are coming in, and everybody wants to be nice and say hi and greet everyone. Nobody wants to be rude. So that's why I was like, we should, a group of us who want to go and do it and hang out, just go out, catch something to eat after the show, after everybody's wrapped up, have a brew, whatever. And then you can kind of still, because everybody goes back, eats, takes a shower. So you still could do that and get over to that hotel room. I wish I could remember what it's called. I can't remember right now.
somebody said, is it Renaissance?
Yeah, that's
Renaissance?
it. Yep, that's
Renaissance?
it. The Renaissance. Yep, that's it.
See, I'm gonna be the same way. Like the hotel room and the location. I mean, you don't want it too far away, but
Right,
it's kind of irrelevant to me because you're only gonna be, at least for me, I'm gonna be going back there for a few hours to sleep and maybe get a shower or whatever, and then I'm not gonna be in there. You know what I
right,
mean? So I'm not gonna spend 3, 4, $500 a night to stay somewhere that I'm not even gonna be in there. You know what I mean? I
right,
don't want to be in there. So as long as I have a place to lay my head and wash up and stuff, then I don't need anything else. And then as far as like hanging out with people or whatever, I mean, you can go to another hotel to hang out with people. You can go to a restaurant like you said or whatever. So, I don't think it really matters. At the end of the night, everybody goes back to their anyway. If you got to go to a different hotel, it's not
right.
a big deal. I mean, we've probably all done like the Ocean City, Atlantic City, some sort of beach where there's hotels everywhere and you're walking up and down the boardwalk,
Right,
you go
right.
so it'd be the same thing and it'll be I won't have my kids with me. So it'll be a lot easier to maneuver. Once you get used to taking kids with you everywhere, and then you don't have them at that time, your things are a lot easier
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
once you
Absolutely.
get used to that.
100%. Yep. And really it's for the experience anyway. Like I really don't care about the hotel room, but I don't want to spend a ton of money on it. And I know some channels are like, well, it's a tax write-off. True, but you're reporting it as a loss as a tax write-off. You still got to come out of the pocket for the money. And I'm at that point where I would like to just have that little bit of extra in case I do want to pick up a knife, but
Yeah.
you can still hang out. So the show doesn't start like I think until 10 in the morning. So you still have a breakfast slot. And I didn't think about this, but when I went down there, I ran into a group of creators that actually got together and were doing breakfast before the show started because they didn't have a table or anything. They were there just to record content. So they were like very relaxed. They went out and got some breakfast. A couple of them had their women with them and they were just, chit chatting it up. And then they were waiting for the initial rush to get in to die down. And then they were going into the show because it runs all day. It's a long time that you can be in there for stuff.
Right. Yeah, you don't gotta feel like, oh, I gotta be there. Unless you really are dying to get something, you really
Right.
don't need to. You can kind of let that initial rush, whether it's an hour or 2 hours. Uh, I think that would be that's probably the smart move. If you're not going down to get something specific, let people go crazy there for an hour or two,
Yeah.
and
If you're
then
not buying the early bird ticket, I really don't see a reason to be there at the door opening because the people that bought the early bird ticket are going to get everything that's going to be limited quantity, highly sought after, in my opinion. And Satu Dave, I don't know if you've ever seen or know Satu. He's a content creator. He's like into big bruisers and he does regrinds and stuff. He's a really cool guy. He's the one that kind of told me, he was like, if you're not chasing nothing, he was like, just wait an hour, hour and a half after it opens and go in there. And it was even after an hour and a half on Friday, there was still a line, but an hour and a
still
half on
nuts.
Saturday, there was no line. Like you can just tell everybody's hitting it Friday hard, and then it
Yeah.
tapers down as the weekend progresses.
Yeah, because some people probably only go Friday and then they leave. And then you might have the amount of people who probably go on Friday that don't go on Saturday and especially Sunday. It probably is a massive percentage of people who all try to go Friday because, people who can only go for a day, right? They go Friday and then they go back home, or some people might stay and then go back home. There's probably a lot of people who do that, who just
Right,
can't stay all weekend,
right.
or they're only going for one specific thing and then they're peacing out. I see you, Danny B. What's up, brother? Member of the Visionaries. You
Yeah,
ever decide if going to Man, I to be honest with you, I probably won't make it. Is NYCKS, is that a one-day thing or is that a whole weekend?
I don't know. I haven't been to that show. I saw some people talking about they were going to it, but I would think it would be weird for it to be a one day. Even like
It
just
must
your
yeah,
run of the mill gun shows and stuff like that, they typically go, Saturday
2
and Sunday
days.
at the least.
Yeah, 2 days. So yeah, it's probably 2 at least is what I'm guessing. I see Antimatter popped in. What's up, buddy? Roman popped in. I live in San Diego, so Atlanta's pretty. Hey man, Ron, I don't know this for sure, but I would be willing to bet there's people that are driving from the West Coast over here uh to go to Atlanta. I know there has been the last like 2 or 3 years that I've paid attention to stuff. There's always people that are driving over. Now, if you can get a ride with them or whatever, I don't know that, but uh, that's a way to do it. You chip in, help pay for gas or whatever. Uh, and I'm sure if there's an open seat, if there's somebody driving over here, they would. Now, I'm sure some people are going to be flying. They're not going to drive because
That's a heck of
that's
a
a
drive.
that's a
Yeah.
hell of a drive right there. I've driven from damn near Miami, like just north of Miami to basically the top of Pennsylvania. And that is a drive right there. So I can only imagine driving from like Cali area or the West Coast area, even like Nevada and around there, driving from there to the East Coast, basically Atlanta.
Yeah. If you're going down there, if you've never been before, take a guess at who has the busiest booth, like insanity. It's not a hard guess. It's going to be kind of
I
obvious.
the busiest booth is probably Savivi.
They are busy, but they're not the busiest. It took me 2 days just to get to see what they had on display, just to
Oh,
get in there because
Spider
it was
Co.
yeah, it is crazy. So I don't know if they'll have the same booth, but, like, when you walk in, you can walk in a couple of different places, but walking into it, last year, they were all the way to the left, and they had an L-shaped booth, so it wrapped around, and you couldn't even get within, I would say, 20 yards of that booth. There were so many people waiting, jam-packed in that corner to get over there. The second busiest was actually ProTech. Pro
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
ProTech's booth was super busy because people wanted Malibus. They had just dropped the Mordax out, so people were trying to get
Mm,
those, and they had limited quantities.
yep.
So those 2 were, like, the busiest because I was like, "Well, let me just pop over," because I didn't know. I didn't have any set plan of how I was just randomly walking. I was like, "I'll just go right to left," and then just kinda zigzag back and forth between the tables. And
Right.
I was like, "Who's over here?" I was like, "I can't even see." And, like, you had to see so some of the middle booths have, like, a wall behind them so they can set up display, so it makes it a little harder to see around. But when you
Yeah.
could see around, you could see the big Spyderco logo, and I was like, "Oh, wow," and I didn't realize it till I got over there because, I wanna say, uh, DLT was beside them, and they had a really long table too. So some of those bigger retailers
Retailers.
have pretty good sized booths as well, but Spyderco was bananas. I didn't even make it at all over there Friday, and Saturday I could only see the corners of their display. Like I didn't even get to go all the way down the display just to see what they had. So
That's
if you're
crazy.
looking to hit Spyderco, you need an early bird pass, and you need to get there at like 4 in the morning and get in line.
And don't leave the booth at all. If you're trying to, yeah, that's crazy. Even I see Jim said there, James, what's happening, buddy? Mark, what's up? Neil, um, er, uh, seconds that day, and eh, I mean, I'm not gonna. That'd be cool to get a nice whatever Mannix, PM2, whatever
Well, they do the
in
same
some.
thing everybody else does. So, like, their, uh, Mannix 2 Lightweight Salt, I think that was a really popular one that you can't find anywhere because it had, magnet cut steel. They'll have some of those there at the show, but you know they're not gonna have a lot, and that's why if you've never been and you wanna do that and you're chasing something, you definitely want the early bird pass, and you wanna be ready to kinda sorta camp, and yeah, people do camp out at the door. There was a little bit of a line. I remember people posting it in the chat and stuff. Like people were camped out in advance to chase things.
Dopey,
Yeah.
what's up, buddy? Aries, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Somebody
don't.
said the Wii booth too in the comments, and they have a lot of traffic, but they usually have one of the largest displays. And last year, the way they had it is like on the table, they had some of the Sin Cut and a little bit of the Civivi, and then the booth wrapped around and it started to move from table to glass display of like prototypes or higher end things. And that was kind of like Civivi, and then it would transition into Wii, and then around the other corner, so it was like a horseshoe. They had the
Yeah,
Wii, so they you could tell that they have done it before and they had a big space and you could make your way to the table even though it would come in waves and they'd be busy in waves. They have it set
yeah,
up so like you can kind of work your way around and get to them, and it wasn't terrible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes perfect sense for them, and I bet they do. Between Sencut, Savivi, and We, those are all very prominent because you have tons of people in that Sencut range, tons of people in the Savivi range, and then you have people who really love the Wii knives stuff
Yeah,
too. So
yeah.
I can only imagine it's pretty big. I see Dopey popped in. What's up, buddy? Twang, Josh Worth. What's up, brother? How's everybody doing? Yeah, so I think, the idea for me is to not have really, maybe have some couple of things to go for. Like, I won't mind picking, like for me personally, I won't mind getting an AD-20, like a USA made Demco AD-20. I won't mind getting one of them. But if I don't get one, whether they're not available or I don't have the money or whatever, no big deal. You know what I mean? It isn't gonna ruin my trip
Right.
if I
Right.
can't get, like, I'll have a couple things I want mine picking up, but if it doesn't work out for one reason or another, there's another day, you know, another time that
You
you
can always
can.
get it at another point in time. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
exactly how I treat it. And I had nothing on the agenda. I ended up picking up. So, my wife got me because it was near Father's Day. She got me the CJRB Echo Premium, the
Oh
S90V
yeah.
one. She got that for me. I picked up it was a Syncut aluminum handled button lock. I can't think of the name of it. I want to say Serene, but I don't think that's right. And I picked up um, what is it's the Voodoo. Who makes that?
The
I'm drawing a blank.
Renegade?
No,
Oh,
no.
Null Knives.
Null Knives, yeah, the Null Knives Voodoo. So, like, just randomly going around. I was like, "Oh, it's here. It's in stock. I want to check it out. I think it'd be good content." Like, legit, that's what I was doing. Walking around just randomly picking up stuff, checking out stuff. But a lot of people were at Riat's booth because they had released the XO-M, the medium one. So a lot of people were
Uh-huh.
checking those out, picking those up, and they had a good amount of them because there was a long line and there were still some in the glass display in the boxes still. So they
Yeah,
came
they come
prepared.
ready. They probably, some of them companies probably prepare for like 6 months or something to go to that Atlanta show because it's become a massive
Yeah,
turnout
yeah.
for
Jim
them
Jim said if you want a 80/20, he said in the comments you got to get there early for that one. That's one of the ones to be there early for. I know last year they did that Warncliffe. I can't even remember what it was called, and he did it in fat carbon.
Uh-huh.
He did like the really limited run, but they were like $1,000 for those. So I don't know how fast they move, but I mean, people come down there. They save to spend to get that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I'd be like, so what? Demko is one of the people who gets rid of everything on Friday, or does he save? Does anyone know? Does he save stuff each day? I wonder. Because I
I
wouldn't
think he
mind it.
saves stuff each day, but I think there was something that he made. It was like a it was like an 80/20.5, but that's not what he called it.
Josh Worth said AD-22.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And he had, he said it was very limited and they were US made instead of it being the Taiwan 80/20, but it looked about that size, the 20.5.
Right.
So that thinner profile, but it had contoured scales if I'm remembering right. And it looked more worn cliff than it did the shark foot blade, whatever he calls that. And then, they were all made by hand, and he was just like pain in the tail, not doing that again. He was like they were really hard to make, and I think he tried to do it in a short amount of time. And I don't know if the Shark Cub is like the production version of that. I know I see Palmer in there said the Shark Cub, but Josh is right. It was the 80/22 was what he was calling it at the time last year when he dropped those.
The Dopey said something about picking up the RR station. That would be the station and the, what is the other one? The standard? RR
Yeah,
standard?
yeah,
Man,
the standard.
that dude came out of the gate with two. Now, I didn't get to check them out, but I can tell they're good. Plus,
Yeah, I like the designs.
yeah, plus
Unfortunately,
he's,
as a smaller channel, it's tough to get everything. I see stuff
yep,
all the time that I like that I just like, man, I
yep,
can't if I want to get this. I can't if I want to get that.
right, yep,
That definitely
yeah,
was a
man.
killer design. I would definitely take a look at one if I had the chance to.
Yeah, that would be a good one, and that would probably be pretty obtainable too. Like, that would be something realistic you could go down there and probably get and not have to be there. You know, I'm sure there'll be a couple people who want to go and get one, but it's not gonna be like
Well,
Demco or
they're gonna
Hinder.
be like, so EMP, Null Knives, Devo,
Yeah,
those type that are a little bit of a smaller batch, they're gonna do holdovers. So they're gonna have something to put out Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday. Now it'll, most of them, I think, if somebody's there with the money and things aren't moving quickly, they may sell to try to move things along. So like if it took Friday all day for them to sell the 10 that they put out there, and someone comes over for the 11th and they're like, "Hey, do you have this? I'll pay you now for it." Because it moves slow all day, like it wasn't gone instantly. That's how
yeah,
I've seen those tables handle it. Like they'll sell some of that just because they're like, "Oh, this isn't moving as fast as we thought." But if it's
right,
like they put that 10 out and that 10's gone inside of 2 hours, they're gonna hold over till the next day and they're gonna be like, "I don't have anything left for today. Come back tomorrow, we might have something
right,
then."
right. Dopey said he got a 1 of 1 Jawbreaker standard in Texas. Phew. That sounds good, dude. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I won't mind checking one of them out. And
Nice.
he does like a bigger, it's a bigger folder. It isn't going to be a small guy. It's gonna be a good size.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you don't wanna show it because you want it for content, but, I wanted to see what your thoughts were on the one that you got from me.
Oh yeah. No, I'll show it. Yeah, the unboxing will probably come.
Yeah, I don't wanna spoil anything, but I was like, "Well, since I got you, I'm kinda curious your thoughts on it."
Nah, it's cool. It's I'll show it. I love it, dude. Um now I figured out like early on, it's probably been what? These have been out for what, maybe a year now?
Not quite that long, but they did come out towards the middle of 2023, I think. We're getting close to
Yeah.
a year.
So yeah, they've been able to put out a second run, I think. And
Yeah,
initially I was like, yeah, it looks cool, and then I started seeing more photos and more of it, and I was like, man, I guess I want mine uh picking one of those up. But then it was the first drop. They were around a little bit because people weren't sure, but then the word started getting out like, hey, these are real good. And I remember seeing them. They were in stock. I could have picked one up right off their website, and I was like, yeah, I'll wait a little bit. And if they're there, say this Friday or whatever, I'll pick one up. Well, sure enough, I went back. It only took those couple of days. And, once the word got out, they moved quickly. But I've
yeah,
never been able to pick one up since that initial first drop. But they did a really good job with it for sure. The
and
Padre.
the ergos are phenomenal. Like, if you're looking at it and you're kinda like, "I'm not really sure," I'll say that to me, I felt like it looked better in person. Like, the lines are really hard to pick up when you're looking at it flat on, but when you get a chance to get it in hand and you can see all the details closely, it's really, really nice, but the ergos are really, really good, and it's a low drop point with a big belly. It does so many cutting tasks really well. I mean, I really do love that model. It's got dual roll ceramic bearings, so it's super smooth open and closing and real solid in the pivot. Like you can tighten it down and still get buttery action out of it. To me, they killed that one. That one to me, because I have larger hands, so like everything, to me comes from a different perspective. Because a lot of people like knives that I end up being like hanging off the back of it and stuff like that. That to me is really nice. It just all around checks all the boxes for me.
Yeah, it really does for me too. And I said the exact same thing in the unboxing of it. I said it looks good like when you go to their website or you see it in a video or pictures or whatever, it looks good. But you can't really grasp all of it until you actually get it in your hand, like especially if you get like the textured diamond pattern in the
Yeah.
handle and stuff,
Oh yeah.
like how intricate and how detailed and how much like would go into something like that and like how it feels in hand. Like it's so comfortable and grippy, looks great. It's just, yeah, you can't really fully appreciate it until you actually get it in hand. Like
Yeah,
you
like
know it might be good, but
even like the little Timascus collars, like I could never get them in the video to really pop like they do in person. Like they really did a good job with those. And I debated, I couldn't catch them when they were in stock, but they don't ask too much for the matching pocket clip. But I was on the verge of trying to get the matching pocket clip for that one to add it onto there because I just like the little bit of pop of color because it's like a deep, rich color, and I really like the way that the stone washing looks against it versus the satin. Like having to do it all over again, I would have gone with the stone wash from the get go. So I'm just waiting for the DLC one that I ordered to come in. I saw someone in the comments said that theirs just shipped. I haven't gotten the notification yet, unless it came in while I was recording and hopping on here, but I haven't seen it yet.
so what, you got the all black DLC model?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was reverse tux. The reverse tux one, I think, is the one that I got on the way because I was like, well, I want to check out. Hold on. I have I picked this one up and it has that similar coating on it. So I wanted to check out that coating that they have to see how it
Oh
compares.
yeah. Yeah, that looks good, man.
Yeah. I mean, I jumped on. I know some people are upset because they sold out so fast, but Kaiser has said that they're going to be making more of them. But
Yeah,
it's
they'll
just
make
it's
more.
such an interesting coating. So I wanted to check a couple of them out. And I'll tell you, I'm not a huge coating guy. Um, just because I know it affects the rock wall treatment. They got to reheat it, and they tell you that it does, it bumps it down one. So it
Right,
depends on the steel. Like this being S45 yen, I'm not super worried about it. It already has really high edge retention. That's its calling card. And then the
right.
same thing with that Manix, M4 is a real high edge retention knife. So I really don't care about the lower, it being softer is still going to be outperforming a lot of other steels. So that's why I'm like, well, I do want to check it out with the Vanex. It'll be interesting with Vanex because it's not a super high edge retention knife. It's corrosive resistant and it's really good edge retention. But I did want to check that coating out because it even like just showing it to you here, it doesn't do it justice. It's a really wild coating. I've already done like a ton of cutting with this. I did a video recording with it and it has absolutely no marks. There's like no signs. I probably broke down, I would probably say 30 feet of cardboard. Also, it held the edge really well.
It looks really good. That's another one I was like, yeah, that looks good. Maybe I'll snag it. I'll snag it here in the next day or two or whatever. And then you find out in the chat or, you're in a live and somebody else is talking about it and you go back and look and it's gone. It's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, this one
But yeah,
sold
they'll
out.
they'll
This one
make
sold
more.
out like really, really fast, but they were trying to hype it up, so it was like a pre-order order. You could go in
Yeah.
and put your pre-order in on an existing like the build was there, but now what they gotta do is they gotta go back and make more and try to sell them then. And they don't know, the Militaw stayed in stock for a long, long time, but I think, Kaiser isn't just really sure because 'cause they've done a lot of, like, nebula stuff. And I feel
Hmm.
like, to me, the sense that I get from them, they're not really sure what's gonna be, what's gonna catch fire and what isn't.
Right.
But this is a really good model. Even if you check out the micarta one,
Yeah.
I'm, like, shocked how good that one is. Because Kaiser, I've had a love-hate relationship with them. Um, I've gotten a couple like the Kaiser Original. I had a lot of issues with 3 different ones I bought because people kept telling me theirs was really, really, really good. The first one I got had lock rock, and I had a bad experience with the warranty. And then I picked up the Assassin, and that one was the blade was warped, and I couldn't get it centered no matter what. And then it took me a while to realize it because it was so subtle, but it was centered further down towards the pivot, but when you would
Mhm.
go out to the tip, you could see that it was curved over, and when I would push it over on this side, you would see all of a sudden it was closer to the scale. they wanted me to pay for shipping to have the blade sent to me. So it's been kind of hit or miss. I pushed and I was like, "Hey, I just bought this. It's brand new." And it came to me like this. You're gonna have me pay shipping, and then they would come back and be like, "No, you're right. We'll send it to you for free." And I was kind of like, I don't know about that." And this was 2 years ago because the Assassin's how old now? The original is like 2 years old now. So
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that's come out since then, I feel like they've really refined the button lock a lot. Like I've handled quite a few. And really, I would say above their button lock, what I really like from them is their version of the crossbar lock. Their clutch
Yes.
lock is
Yeah.
outstanding. Like that to me is the gold standard for what I hold everything else to that comes through. I think the closest thing that I have found that I actually like just slightly better is that crossbar lock from Vosteed on the Datsun. That one to
Yep.
me definitely is toe for toe. You could say they were even, and I would say that you're absolutely right. But those two set the standard as far as I'm concerned for the crossbar lock. Like the adjustable
Yeah.
crossbar spring, that is
Yeah.
awesome, but also they got the geometry dialed perfect, thumb stud location perfect. It feels good to fire it. I'm just like, they've come such a long way for me, and that's why I don't ever give up. I like to check out stuff even if I'm off put by something. But I
Yeah.
do caution people. I'm like, it isn't that they have bad customer service. It's just I think someone probably somewhere in a call center is like, okay, we can send them the free warranty part, but they'll have to pay for the shipping. I think that's fine if I told you, like, I stripped the screw or I lost whatever part that I need, I will pay for the
Right.
shipping. I get that. But for something you sent me that I opened brand new, that's when, and I pushed back and they were like, you're right. We'll send it to you. So it wasn't awful, but I was just kind of like, that was a little bit of a head scratcher for me.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with it being brand new, but
Right.
it might be like you said, someone who's not like
Right.
it's kind of like a secondary source that you're contacting. And then once you kind of are like, no, I'm not, that's not fair. It probably might go, it gets referred to somebody actually in Kaiser or whatever. And they're like, no,
Right.
maybe
That's what
that
it
might
felt
be,
like. Yeah, it
maybe.
felt like it was just an employee, handling emails, right? That
Right.
doesn't really fully understanding the full concept of the business. And they were just like, okay, the script says this is the complaint, this is how I respond. That's what it felt like. And then when I pushed, they probably asked somebody else, and that person was like, no, they're right, send it to them, no cost. That's how it felt like on the end. But they just, to me, they've come such a long way, and I say that about pretty much a lot of the button locks. Like the Malibu for the longest time was the gold standard, and anything else that I handled, I was just kind of like, it's good, but it's not great, it's not this. And now that's really hard to say because you look at like Civivi and man,
Yeah.
their button locks are phenomenal. And then Vosti, and I feel like Kaiser has come a long way with their button locks. It's really impressive. And the QSP Penguin, I don't know if you got to see one of the exclusive button locks coming from
No.
traditional pocket
Well,
knives.
I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to handle that one.
It
No.
feels like a detent. Like these companies are really figuring it out, and I love to see that because I know people are sick of button locks. But if the button locks perform like this and they pass the spine whack, I really don't care. Long as it's
No.
tight tolerances, built well, lasts long time, doesn't have issues down the road. Like whatever deployment methods out there, long as it works, that's great. Because I don't hate button locks. I just was like, you guys are not getting it done right. And there's a difference to me. And when it's done like some of these ones that have come out here lately, I'm like, I'm excited about those because to me, that I can put that in anybody's hand and they're gonna be like, man, this thing fires.
Right. Dude, and it's not so yeah, I've been saying like with the crossbar lock ordeal, since I handled so Kaiser did the Roboto crossbar locks, then like the drop bears came out around the same time, then the Escort in aluminum came out, and when I handled all three of those relatively close to each other within like I handled the Roboto. I think that was when I was still getting pass arounds in, and Lefty sent me the Roboto to check out, and I handled that. And then I saw the Escort, and I was like, oh, you know, that is made by them. And, so I picked up an Escort, or no, I'm sorry. I picked up no, it was the Escort. Then I picked up the Drop Bear, and I was like, man, and I have a bunch, not a bunch, but I have, I don't know. I have probably between Hogue and Benchmade, I probably have 12 of their crossbar locks. So I have a good feel for their crossbar locks. And I've been saying for a while, Benchmade created the crossbar lock, but Kaiser perfected the
Yeah,
crossbar lock.
yeah.
They
As far as
really,
the action, 100%, like the feel
yeah.
for the deployments. I would say for me ranking them, I would put, and I don't know if it's because Kaiser makes them for Vosteed. I keep hearing that, and what I've also heard is that Vosteed bought a section of Kaiser's plant to manufacture there, so maybe they just share. But, I would say put Vosteed and Kaiser top, right? They're the top one for the crossbar locks. The company that surprised me the most that took over the number 2 spot is gonna be the one I saw this on your channel. This is the Heckler.
CZRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like, this is just I don't know if you did the disassembly, but this is like a horseshoe shape, whereas the other ones have, like, a little C shape, and it kinda can ride out of here. This is like a complete horseshoe, and you can see it on the disassembly, so it legit the knife, like, hugs the crossbar lock, and that's how they're able to get this to I'm waiting for the Prado to come, that's coming from Amazon today because they had a coupon on it, but that
Dude, I
right
got it.
there, that
I
feels
I
like
bought
a
it. I bought
Go
it
ahead.
last night, dude. I bought it last night.
It feels like a detent. It's bananas.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I saw yeah, Amazon. Mine'll be here not today, tomorrow. They deliver on Sundays here too. Like if you order Friday by midnight here, where I'm located, they will deliver it on Sunday. And I saw they had the Prado, what, 20 or $30 off?
$20
20?
off.
Yeah, dude. So I
It
was
makes it
like,
cheaper than anywhere else, and if you have Prime, you get the free shipping, so you do have to
yeah,
pay taxes regardless, like, wherever you go, it seems like, but it's more expensive at CJRB's site.
yeah,
It's less expensive on Amazon, and if you have Prime, you get the free shipping, and, like, for me, I think the taxes were, like, 2, $3 or something, so it was a killer deal, and I wanted to check it out because I love Laconico, like, his knives
yep,
are always nice in hand for me. I
yep,
like the way he designs them for comfort and a little bit of style.
yep. I agree. I like Laconico's stuff.
Yeah,
And
so to
and
try to get that real quick before I tried to get I love the Django. This is one that I put up today on my post for sale. Um, but to get this to kind of sort of feel like a clutch lock, I have, and it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to show it there, but I have two magnets installed right here on the inside of this knife, and it keeps it from being mushy. I know it's really hard, but because it was so thick, and that's why I don't like thumb holes a lot. Because if you can't get to them, they're not satisfying. But this one here rips, and the reason I wanted the magnets is because I couldn't thumb flick it at all. Like, I could not even get in there and it not pop out. So, like, I'm putting pressure right now, and the
huh,
magnets are holding it in there. You can see the white on my thumb. So I'm able to actually rip it. So these magnets are on both sides of this one just to emulate the clutch lock. I had to do
right.
like some serious mod work on this just to get it to feel good. And
Yeah,
even then,
that's
you see,
crazy.
like, I couldn't quite get my thumb in there, and I still couldn't rip it like I can on that CJRB or like on the drop bear.
Yeah,
And they have
yeah,
thumb studs. That's the other thing that I was going to talk about. Like, thumb studs do better with crossbar locks. And I said that until I got this.
yeah. I know what you mean. It's because you can get that like handle to stud kind of. You can get a little more torque on it. You don't got to quite be down. You're with a hole. You're kind of digging in, and if it's really loose, it's gonna kick that blade out. Or if it's really weak, I should say. And I've heard that about Kunwu's. And then I've heard, well, they changed it, and then I heard
They did.
it the
They
it
from the
it the
earlier X-Tile that I had, it was just It felt sloppy. The whole deployment opening, like the whole thing felt sloppy, and they included those stronger springs, and that just really made it feel like this initial part, it made it feel like it was harder to overcome that initial part. So they've changed something because they do feel improved, but they are not on the same level as those clutch locks. Just not at all. I went back and installed the magnets just to get this to feel really satisfying to deploy, and it worked. It works really, really well. But you do have to do that mod, I feel like, with that. I feel like they would do better if they just did thumb studs for all of their crossbar locks.
Yeah, yeah. And just tighten up them springs a little bit. Kaleidoscope, what's up, buddy? Tighten up them springs a little stronger. I mean, you would hope, because that has to get back to them like, hey, you need to increase the spring strength in there type of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
Uh
Kunwu is good about that because they you could tell that they made a change when the Pulsar, I think, was the next crossbar lock that they did when that came out. That one felt slightly improved, and they were continuing to do the heavy springs. But then when the Django came out, they just got rid of the light springs. They give you heavy springs and then an extra set of heavy springs in case they break. They don't even include the light springs anymore. So I feel like they get the message, but um, I think if they can fix that lock face geometry a little bit and make it a little
yeah.
bit more resistance to overcome for the opening, like that CJRB, I think that would really kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, that because I haven't handled one. The light action has deterred me from ever even considering one, but they look like the tabs and everything, and of course everything that goes into, the milling and all that,
Yeah.
titanium. Um, they seem intriguing, but with the lighter action, it's just once you handle something like a clutch lock or whatever, you don't want to go back to that light crossbar lock feel. That looks good.
Yeah. So this one here, you can see the magnets.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. This one was reground by BGM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this one's another one where I was like, I looked up someone's video and then I can't remember, I'm blanking on his name, reached out to me to show me these. These are magnets that you buy from like a website that only sells like magnets because they're that much
Uh-huh.
stronger than what you get off of like Amazon. And
Like
these
rare earth
really
magnets.
like create like suction. It's kind of crazy. You can't even like I'm pulling it and I know that it looks light on there, but there's literally like you can't like I'm
So
throwing
what
it as
now?
hard as I can and I can't break it, but it really just makes it feel so solid and you still get that, that strength on that lock, that shark lock. So and
So
I
now
love
do you
that it
just sit the magnets in the liners or on the liners? Or how do you
so
do
they're
that?
skeletonized, so they're on the scales. Both those knives are skeletonized. So where it's sitting, I don't know if I could really show it too well. If my camera will focus. No, it's not enough light, but it's skeletonized. So it's sitting in between, where is it? Right here. And so it's sitting in between the top and the bottom part where it's skeletonized, but it's epoxy to the scales themselves.
Oh, okay. So that's how I was wondering how you get the magnet where it is. So you basically glue or epoxy it to the spot you want it.
Right. Yeah. So I just took like a little marker and just traced it and then took the scale off and did the epoxy and let it sit for a couple days and came put it all back together. It's really
Oh,
a
okay.
easy it's an easy process, but um the other thing that the guy told me about, so the guy that reached Saigon Kick, that's who it was over on
Oh,
Instagram. He reached
yeah.
out to Brian Winters for the Winter Factor, and that's where he found out about the magnets. And then he was using crazy glue, which is what I started with. But the crazy glue from the impact on the stop pin against the liners was causing the vibration, and the glue eventually would crack and the magnets would come off. And he was like,
Oh.
epoxy is more buoyant. so it can absorb some of the shock and it won't break down. So he was the one that turned me on to the epoxy. And then Jay Dizzle was telling me what epoxy to use. I don't know if Jay Dizzle's been to any of your lives, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, he was telling me what epoxy to use because some epoxy has material in it that can also cause the magnets to wear down their shelf life, and they have like a 20-year shelf life. Because that's the other question I get is like, well, how long will the magnets last if you're doing all that? I'm like, 20 years, man. I was like, that's a long time on a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. That I think you're getting your money's worth if it lasts. If you don't lose it, break it, whatever, in 20 years, I'd say you're doing just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Clarence. Clarence said nice 80/20. I appreciate it. Thanks,
I see
Betty.
s- I see Sam popping in here. I see who else popped in. I saw some Leafy popping in. I saw Crispy popping in. How's everybody doing? Kaleidoscope. Brian said the Kershaw crossbar lock. I do have that budget Kershaw. I just got it actually. That is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would say
Um,
the Kershaw had the iridium. I would say it was
oh,
probably on par with, like, Hoag's crossbar lock. It does feel nice, but it still pales in comparison for me compared to the clutch lock. Like, I feel like the clutch lock is just we've now entered the Malibu era for the crossbar lock for me. Like, for it took a while for everybody to get a button lock that was on par to what the Malibu was, and I feel like that's what the clutch lock has done, is that lock system has just made, and I like crossbar locks, so I'm not coming from a
yeah,
bad place, but now that I see what it can be, I want everybody to get there.
yeah, I'm with you. I To be honest, I like everything, to be honest with you. Like, I don't dislike button locks, crossbar locks, uh, liner locks, frame locks, bolster locks, shark lock, super lock. I like all of those. Slip
Scorpion
joints I
Scorpion
like.
Scorpion lock is good too.
Yep, I like the scorpion lock. Hell, I don't mind even like the triad or back lock either. I mean, those admittedly don't get a ton of carry, but if I know like my 8010 or like one of my 8010s or the code for, like, I know if I need to do something, like I'm going to work on something and it's, might be really dense material or whatever, that's a knife I can depend on, and that's why I have it. Like the 8010, for instance. That knife is going to do whatever, you know, at the peak of what a folding knife can do, right before you get to a fixed blade, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep. I think the turn off with, like, the triad and stuff is a lot of that stuff was just so big, and in the EDC world, a lot of people like stuff that's really easy to carry, doesn't take up a lot of space,
Right.
just to cover their needs. So I think that's why, like, I think it's the Atlas or whatever. I like to see that they're coming out with stuff that's a little bit smaller in size because when you look at these companies like Kershaw and you look at like Cold Steel, their quality is still very good. It's just they haven't innovated in a long time. And that's what people want, is for them to innovate. Even if it's just a new model with the same lock, just do something different. Maybe throw some spicy steel in there. I mean, look at Spyderco's made a living off that. How old are their
Yeah.
models? Their models are
Yeah.
so old, but good heat treat, and
Yep.
they do spicy steels, and a lot of
Yep.
people like that, and because they've done their models for so long, you can go anywhere. You can throw a rock, dude, and find some scales, some hardware.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably have, it's probably the biggest aftermarket, or it's one of the biggest
Yeah,
aftermarkets for Spyderco. Yeah, new locks are fun to experience. That's my thing. And the other thing is I don't mind that's why I have a huge problem. But there's not really a lock that I mind. There's not an opening method that I'm like, it has to be this. I like front and rear flipper. I like holes. I like studs. So and then blade shapes. I'm the same way. I like sheep's foots and worn clips. I also like drop points and tantos. So, clip points depending. I'm not a huge like trailing point, really long trailing point like the provoke from CRKT. Like I won't mind having a knife or two like that just so I have it. But yeah, like that's fine. The
Even this is
relative,
not this is good for a little bit of stuff, but even this
yeah,
blade shape to me, the
it's a
tip
little
is so
high.
high up on there, and, like,
Yeah.
I'm getting into packages and, like, trace cutting on table and stuff. I really it's the least useful blade shape for me outside of, like, tabletop cutting, like, cutting down onto something and, like, if you're food prepping.
What's up, Lone Star? Yeah, he's got a point, but also, I mean, I think JD's saying just do something different, not necessarily change what they're good at.
No,
Um,
no, mm-mm. No, I just would
but
like this I'd like the Atl I know it's like the Shark lock, but the lock that they have on the Atlas, that was fun, and the Atlas is a new model. The problem with cold steel for me is 8010 been around forever. 8015 been around forever. There's
yeah,
no aftermarket support except now Original Goat has scales. So now even for me, it's pulled my interest back to them because I'm like, hey, something fun to do with them. But if you
yeah,
have an 8010 or an 8015 and you love them, the quality's good, the lock is fantastic, they do
yep,
good heat treats. There's nothing wrong with the knife, but once you have one, will you ever go back to cold steel to look for something new or different if you're in the market? And
right,
I feel like that's kind of what I feel like that with Benchmade, even though they have recently started to do some new stuff, and Spyderco is really slow to do stuff. Like I have the same critiques to those companies, but those companies have thrived because they do spicy steels, Spyderco more so than Benchmade. Um, and
yeah,
they give you something different to go back to. If you go, I've talked to people that have 100, 200 pair of three lightweights, but they are
yeah,
all different blade steels and they have
yep,
different scales and just like it scratches the itch in a different way. So
yeah,
I think they're capable, which is why I critique them because I know that they can. That's why the Bodacious is just a shaman without a finger choil, but I'm excited because it's a new model and I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when they throw some Magna Cut or some S90V on it instead of S30V. I probably would grab one to add to the collection, but you know, I've had my shaman and my Para 3 forever. And I have no
right,
reason to go back to them. Like to me, it's more viable for them as a business to do something with some variety to entice people to come back. Because once you've bought that model, you're not going to go back. But if you look at like Civivi is a really bad example because they do it at a pace that is just kind of sickening because it's too hard to keep up with. But they're
yeah.
like, throw it on the wall, see if it sticks, and if people like it, they're going to spend some money and they're going to come back to us and spend more money with us.
Yeah, because they have the ability to throw it, see if it sticks, and if it doesn't, oh well. We'll pull it down and we
Right.
we all
True.
we put out 5 other models with it, and you know, so they know what they're doing. And if it, it's not every single month, but I remember a couple times very recently, Kaiser just did this, but they'll put out like a frame lock, a liner lock, a crossbar lock, and a button lock, like all in the same month. You know what I mean? And they're all varying in like their blade steel, the blade shape, the opening method. Like they're really crossing, a bunch of places and uses and prices. So they're really starting to get a lock on some of this stuff and they're executing it. What, they're not just pushing a bunch of stuff out and it's all crap. Like Kaiser isn't, at least most of the stuff, even if it's not your style or your favorite way to disengage it or open it, the model is still probably going to be very good,
I
whether it's
mean,
your thing or
let
not.
let me pose the question because maybe I could be off base, but what if Cold Steel tomorrow said we're gonna start a line of AD10 minis. It's gonna be 3.3 inches. It's gonna be under 4 ounces, and we're gonna use Magna Cut.
Yeah,
Does
there
that
would.
excite you at all?
Yeah, or an AD10 like slim
Right.
or something like
Right.
that's.
It doesn't have to be, like, wildly new, but I think
Yeah,
you would I think you would pull a lot of people in, even if you wanted to use, it doesn't have to be Magna Cuts because I feel like everything has Magna Cut lately, but let's say you wanted to use LMAX or Vanex.
yeah.
Something not quite as flavor of the month, but still that's going to perform. Like to me, I'd be like, yes, please sign me up for one of those. I'd love to check that out because the 8010 is a great big hard use thick geometry use it and abuse it knife. But if you wanted to come out with like a slicer version that was a mini, I think people would jump on it. I think people will love it. And that's just because that lock is still going to be really strong, but it's going to be much more easy to daily carry.
Yeah, and with like the 8010, that is once it's broken in, it in turn becomes a pretty damn fidgety knife. Like I can grab my 8010 right now and mine's very well broken in. There was a point in time where I had a collection rolling, but there would be times where for a week or two, like now I change every day, twice a day what I'm carrying. But there was a time where I'd carry something for several days, maybe put it down for a day or two, then carry it for more time. And I had my 8010 during that time, and I carried and used the snot out of it. And that's partially what made me start loving S35 VN as well. The 8010 is just a perfect beast when it comes to needing to hard use a knife. But and the action's good, but I would have loved if they did Magnica, LMAX, S90V,
Yeah, that's
um,
gonna be a good
and
one.
and trimmed it down. Like keep the triad lock, maybe use bearings, I think. Um, of course, it won't do as good in a dirty environment, but most of you
Well,
guys
now
don't
you're
work in a
building a
dirty
knife that's no
environment.
longer meant to be a bruiser and a hard user, right? Now you're doing something that's EDC. So I think that's where you can
Yeah.
do something like that. I mean, you don't have to because I think we have seen washer knives have phenomenal action. I think a really good recent version of that for me would be the Drift L from Quiet
Oh
Carry.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a really good washer knife that has phenomenal action right out the gate. So you can get really good action, but yeah, that's about how mine was before I finally let it go, but it broke in really nice. Like you can get really good action out of those. The weight of the blade allows for that to drop. And I think if you go to a thinner version, if you wanted to call it light or whatever, that was a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit easier to carry every day. You could do bearings for sure, and I think it would I think it would do just as well, if not, I think it would probably even do better in some instances 'cause that to me is a model that looks good, and I think a little bit of a smaller version, people would eat it up.
Yeah, I mean, take it down because I think it comes in at 8.4 or 6 ounces, I think, standard. If they could drop it down below
Y
like 5
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like 5 or
and
less.
and unbalking the handle, like don't the idea is change. So I enjoy the handle that's on there. It gives you a good solid grip, especially if you got a little bit bigger hands. It gives you a good grip, that little tail at the end. It just really locks you in. If you've never handled an 8010 and you need a true user that you definitely can depend on, it's definitely a good knife to keep in
Yeah, a lot
mind.
of people said
And
they would buy it. A lot of people
and
in the comments are saying they would buy the smaller 8010. Arshier said he would buy a smaller 8015.
yeah, yeah.
Louis says, "I'm
I
a steel snob," and he would buy that 8010. You talking about with Magna Cut, or you talking about with S90V? See, I think they could do stuff that would excite people. Yeah, the
for
uh,
sure.
the Code 4 is a thinner version, but it's still a really big knife. Um, I'm thinking like not just thinning it, but profile, how deep it carries in pocket, just shortening it up. When I think about it, I would say probably something. I hate to use that reference because it's so overused, but something around the size of the bug out up to the size of a shaman, I think would, somewhere in that range, I think would people would just, they would eat it up. And I say that because I like Cold Steel. Like, I like their quality. I like what they offer. I've never experienced a Cold Steel knife where I've had any issue with it. Like, I've handled somewhere between 5 and 10 of them for long periods of time, and they always have really good quality. The lock is super strong, and ergonomically, it feels nice. It's just big. It's just really
Right.
big.
Yeah, it is. It is a big boy, but yeah, they could drive if they slimmed it down, lightened it up, and added, one of like 3 or 4 steels, or Van X S90, L Max, Magna Cut. If they did something like that,
Crew wear.
crew wear, yep, yeah. And
And
slimmed
I'm not
that
saying because I
down.
think people are misunderstanding. I'm not saying stop making the 80-10. I'm just saying it's such
Right.
a good model, you could miniaturize it and people would eat it up.
Just in addition to,
Right, exactly.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. I mean, dude, I'm not even a cold steel. I agree, Jamie, by the way, about getting aluminum scales. I do need to pick up a set, but I
They look
remember
great.
they do, and he got a set and sent me some videos or whatever of it, and they got a couple different
It it takes it
finishes.
from looking like a production to looking like a custom. It looks like a
Yeah.
custom 80-10 with those scales on it. It's crazy how much it transforms it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go aluminum or titanium, whichever one, and be really happy. But I remember it was it's been over a year since the Engage came out. I'm not a cold steel like fanboy. I do like them, and I have a couple. Um, but as soon as the Engage was announced, I bought one because I already had the 8010 and S35, the 15, the Tie Light, and I had something else, all in S35 from Cold Steel. So I knew, you know, that it was gonna be a well-made knife, and then it had that, mid-mounted shark lock, basically, the Atlas lock. Uh, and once you get used to that, it's not as convenient, I should say, as like the super lock or the shark lock. But after a day or two of getting the knife and using it and flicking it, you get used really quickly. It's just like anything else. Before anyone experienced the shark lock, you were like, what the hell? I
Oh, yeah,
disengage it
I
from
didn't
here.
I wasn't even disengaging it right when it first came out. I was, like, trying to slide across the back of it, not realizing you gotta dig and pull, so you're right.
Yeah.
I remember that, I was like, "Oh my god, this lock is horrible."
Yeah, you got to get used to it. And then, but the Atlas is the same way. You realize, like, once you open it, you realize, okay, I just extend my grip just a little bit with my fingers on the knife. You kind of push it out, and then your pointer finger is doing the same thing. You're just a little lower. And I've even found where, like, I use my thumb sometimes because you get the way the Atlas lock is done, it's nice and wide. Like, there's ton of room to get in there and actually maneuver it, and it's comfy, it's easy. I think if they move that up a little bit too, that thing would be up there with the shark lock as very fun because there's so much more surface area there, and
Right.
it's so much smoother. Have you ever handled one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's really nice what they have there. They just need some refinements
Yeah.
and on a couple of things. And I think they're already really popular and they don't do anything. So
Yeah,
really,
imagine if they did something.
yeah. Like, I know they've come out with a few things here and there, but they've changed they've done some exclusive things with XHP. and I know they're doing some stuff with MagnaCut, but it's a very slow, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
situation that they're going at. They
Yeah.
need to kind of dive in a little bit more, I think.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I better hop off. I appreciate you having me on. It was fun to hang out, but I need to go now, start cleaning up. My son's birthday party's tomorrow, so I got to go downstairs and I got to make the
Oh,
house
cool.
look like we keep it clean.
Yeah, yeah, I know all about that, dude. I know all about that. How old is he gonna be?
22.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't have young kids anymore. He is my youngest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
22. Yeah, I
Yep,
remember them
yep.
days.
They just
All right, buddy.
finished up college and they just started getting into
Oh,
full-time jobs, so now they're saving for a house and stuff. So I'm like on the
yep,
back end of all of this.
yep, yep. Yeah, that's a fun process. Well, have fun, man. Yeah, I know all about that, making the house look like it's always like that.
Yeah, I'll put you on the phone and keep hanging out in the chat while I'm cleaning and listening.
All right, dude. Yeah, yeah, and then come back, come on any Saturday too, man, whenever you're just hanging out or whatever.
Cool.
You
That
can
sounds
always
good,
come
man.
on.
All right. Have a good live, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, have a good weekend, buddy.
Bye.
See ya. What does cold steel run MagnaCut at? 11? Maybe. Maybe. I like cold steel, but Upgrade has kind of stepped into that spot for me as of late. They are constantly improving. Yeah, I'm 100% on that same boat, dude. Which you know that. Um, even at their liner locks, man, I've done some as I've had some of their models with I got two folders from them. So I've been able to kind of really do some questionable stuff, with testing those. And they're extremely, extremely well done for a liner lock. It's just proof though, the proper geometry in there and everything being the way that it should be. You know, some thick liners in there, they can be pretty damn strong. No, Mark, Off Grid is Taiwanese made. They are made in Taiwan factories, possibly even the same factory, to be honest. I don't know that, but it could be. But they're Taiwanese made. It's a US company, US designs that are manufactured in Taiwan. And then they have a couple of like two, maybe, is it? Maybe a few more than that. Two or three, no more than four premium models. Uh I forget all the names, but the one is what is it, the Mamba? No, maybe that's not it. I forget. But I think Best Tech makes a lot of those. James, what's up, dude? Oh shit, I was behind in the stream. You guys were deepening. Oh, yeah, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the future, man. Yeah, Off Grid, man, I really like what they're doing. If you're looking, they're not making like, bougie designs and trying to appeal to that market. They're trying to build comfortable, easy to carry users. They're not trying to do what some of these companies are, which we need both. So it works. And if it's not your thing, well, that's fine. There's plenty of stuff on your side, whatever that might be. That's another thing that gets me in trouble. I need users, hard users, because of what I do, but I also really enjoy the bougie crap or or the affordable realm I still heavily enjoy. So that's why I get into a lot of trouble. Um So I don't think I added it. Boy, you guys are horrible at reminding me. I want to say that. I remember Jim added a 5 spot. So that would. We're going to throw in the issuing stitches, Hank. And we're at 18 members. Pretty Fly, what's up, buddy? So if you are a member, new or old, make sure you go to the last members video. It'll say this is a good, it's the only members video in the last couple of days. What's it say? Let me look here. It has a picture of the Kaiser Sheepdog XL and the item that BNA sent in to give away, which we're not going to do that today. BNA couldn't make it. He's at a trade show, or he's at some sort of show with a buddy, I believe, or family. So he couldn't be here today. And I have it, and I'm not going to, we're going to wait. I'm going to wait to announce. I kind of teased what it is to the members, but there's quite a few items inside of that as well, and a couple of really, really good items that BNA sent in. So that'll be an awesome, awesome giveaway. We'll probably do that next Saturday, I'm going to guess. We'll include that into the members giveaway. Yeah, the big boy sheep. Yo, Jamie. Ooh, I gotta hop back over here. Jamie, popping in. That's way down here. Where'd it go? Now I'm scrolling in the... Yeah, hit him with your G-balls. Hit him. So we got Mr. Shear, Mr. Aries, Mr. Leland, Mr. Sharp Guy, and Mr. Tickle Me Cheeto. All getting memberships from the J-Man. The J-Man. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, brother. Welcome to all the new members. Any of the new members, go and comment. Even if you're not interested in winning the Sheepdog XL, you could play for another member. You can, if you win first or win that, you can choose the Trivisa if you would like, because now we are at 23, and that puts us into the second giveaway. The second giveaway, guys. So yeah, welcome to all the new members. Shout out to J-Man. Needham, what's up, dude? Oh yeah, you want a freaking dude. Talk about a lucky mofo. Don, what up? What up? Member of the G-Ballers, baby. Metter. Let me get this up here. And I forget who said it, but somebody said, oh shit, what'd I just do? What did I just do? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, okay, good. Can you hear me? Blade Walker coming in with the Memby. Blade Walker hitting it. I see Needham just became a member. I don't even got to go look. Sweet. Welcome, Needham. We're giving away a Sheepdog XL today. in my Carta and 154 and or a Trivisa in 14C, which I know you're not interested in either, but you can play for another member. Completely fine if you're a member and you want to be nice and gift it to somebody. Or you don't even have to say that in the comment. You can just enter and then give it to somebody, while you're here. Although you would have to be here in order to do that. Let's see. What time is it? 2:30. Hey, did we just get another one? We did. Look at there. Who got that one? Who got that one? Who did it? Who got it? Who got it? Louie! Louie, Louie! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Flashlights and Devo hats. Well, we haven't showed any flashlights, but we do have a Devo hat. I just sometimes write a random question for the title, and then we don't even talk about whatever it is. I forgot about that. I'm waiting for my kids to wake up in the grocery store parking lot. The car next to me smells really good. Oh, man. Give it to Cock if I win. Okay. Dang, Ross. What's up, buddy? Member for 11 Mizons. I just changed. That's awesome, Ross. About to hit that 1 year, baby. The 12-monthers have a different emblem, and there's added emojis as well. I see B Shady popping in. What's up, brother? Member of the G Ballers. Yeah, there's a couple of new emojis, and then I changed like 2 or 3 members and updated their badge. That's what it's called, a badge. The 12-monthers, and I think it was the 6, the 12, and like the 24 or something like that. I think. Something like that. Are you guys, well, we'll give it a few minutes, but does somebody, a mod, want to link the members video, and I will pin it at the top there. About to hop a shower and take my ass to work. Oh man. Well, well, hopefully it goes quick for you and really slow for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, please, if you are a member and you just, whatever, you're not interested, whatever it might be, don't not play. Play, but gift it to somebody who hasn't won a membership or a membership. Pick somebody who hasn't won a giveaway, or they haven't won barely anything like that. Gift it to somebody else. G-Ball still an hour behind. Shouldn't be. No, I'm live, baby. I've tried to take care of that. I do miss a few more things, but I've just gotten quicker with yeah. All right, Palmer, you're always here. There you go, buddy. And then I think let me check something real quick. Where's Heyman? Right there. Okay. I was gonna say Jamie is a managing moderator, so if you really mess around, Jamie can smack the piss out of you real quick. Real quick. Different time zone. Homer, no problem, brother. Hopefully you feel better. What stomach, chest? There's a bunch of crap going around right now. Like bronchitises and flus and all kinds of crap. Should we go on like a little adventure? Go check out some NAFs? Yeah, that was fun having Jay Dizzle on. Well, I shouldn't say Jay Dizzle. JD Izzle. JD Izzle. Demco sale. $70 off. Holy smokes, you can go get, hell, there's one for 120. That's not a bad, I mean, for OS 10. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but 120 for that's not bad at all. That's really not bad. Is that the yep. What is going on here? Give me that. There we go. For the members who didn't make it over there, that is the video at the pinned video at the top of the chat. That's not bad though. 125. It's not the greatest for OS 10, but better than like 150, 160 that they used to be. That's OS 10. Although I'd look around before you go and buy one of these right here, because for like 40 bucks more, you might be able to get S35, and I have to believe these are done in the cold steel factory. That's why they're in OS 10 and S35 too. They do a really good job on the OS 10 and S35. What was all over Reddit? JD Dizzle and the GB Bizzle. I like it. Katuo Triad restock coming late May, early June. Ah, I don't get sick often. This is some upper. Yep, that's going around, man. Soft steel on bad action should be on sale. I don't think they're OS 10. I know that the OS 10 that they originally came out in wasn't the greatest, but I think another thing of that, dude, I mean, unless you have an experience, like a personal experience with it, I think a lot of content creators, or quite a few, uh badmouth steals that they really don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Because you have guys who are just, they think unless it's 20 CV or Magnica or something like that, that it's just a crap steal. But OS 10 is a adequate steal. It's not a super steal, but OS 10's a pretty damn good steal for a basic knife, a basic EDC knife. I have an OS 10 Demco with Demco tie scales. I don't even like the Shark Lock. Huh. The Asher Warney Spiro in S90V is in stock right now for 135. Really? The Asher Warney Spiro. Wait a minute. Is that which one is that? The crossbar or the non-crossbar? Oh, the deal on the okay, I see. Was all a Reddit, lots of negative comments. The little buddy is phenomenal. I want this. The Fixie, the Asher Fixie. That thing looks amazing. I want that really bad. Something fierce. Where is it? Yeah, to be honest, most guys would not ever know. Where is it? Usually those are right at the top, I thought. This one's really good. The Warney crossbar. Maybe it's out of stock. Oh, I'd have to check out on my phone. I wonder how many he's got. That's a smart what? Well, is that really smart? I guess. It makes you sign up for the newsletter, I suppose. Well, I saw somebody ask a question here. When are you gonna do a cut test with the Demco OS 10? It's not something I really considered because I think there's quite a bit out there on it, but I mean, if enough people wanted to see that, I would do it. The one the one cut test I did with the what was it? The Hogue Magna Cut. That one did decent, but then I did, and I know it's not a thorough test. Like it's just seeing how long it can cut and kind of keep its edge decently. Um, there was at least one complainer. Uh, so I've actually kind of rethought the way I'm gonna do those tests, but with everything I have to record each day, plus the ideas that I come up with for whatever the video topic might be, other than an unboxing, I have so much crap to record that it takes a lot of time to do those cut tests. I avoided OS 10 from all the hate it got. I've changed my mind on it as of late from long-term use on the Kubi Elang. Yeah. Well, I'm on the list. What is up with that? Huh. I haven't checked the email yet today. It looks like, oh, well, we won't change whoops. We won't change it, but here, you'll be able to catch it for a little while. Oh, I guess I could just click on it through here, couldn't I? Are they the same? Oh, ooh, oh. Hang on a second here. Oh, I got a better idea. Whoops. I'll do it this way. There we go. Yeah, it works. It works. Yeah, if you want big bang for your buck, Asher is uh is definitely a good dude, company, all of it. Good materials, extremely good pricing. Shut up. Oh, no, no, no. Wrong thing. There we go. Anyone got that carbon fiber mini beluga? If so, how do you like it? It's pretty good. I wish they would have used a different steel, although I love 14C. I think revamping this knife, kind of what they did. That's what they did, the revamp with it. I wish they would have used S90 or something like that and just increase the price. But for the money, this thing is freaking sweet. The unboxing's coming on it this week, probably middle of the week. I don't know which day, but yeah, really solid, just like the original. And I mean, it's even better. It's even better. Really nice and lightweight. I went with the all black one because I think it's stone washed or sandblasted. I have another one, so I figured if I wanted to switch the blades, I could. But what's up, Todd? I've been doing pretty good staying caught up some days. When you have a guest on, it's tough because you know, you can only focus and talk, the other person has to talk and crap just goes by. But yeah, the petrified fish mini beluga in carbon fiber, that's a great deal. This would be a great deal. Um yeah, S90V silver carbon fiber, brass cage ceramic bearings, 3.2-inch blade, which is decent. Um, I've never handled the Beluga or the Mini, and I know I'd like both. Yeah, they're both really good, man. Hang on a second here. Wait a minute. I should be able to. Oh, do 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 do. Yeah, and the cool thing is for me, he's right in Pittsburgh. I mean, that's a couple hours for me, but not bad at all. So when he ships me something, I get it like the next day. Wow, the following day. Yes, yes, yes. Approved. Approved. Blah, 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 blah. 113. Yes. Thank you. We received your order. Ah, right there it is. Beep. Sweet. Um, oh, Sean, you're in PA too. Was you the one who said you're around Hershey? If they did the full size beluga, the full size is really nice too, especially if you like a bigger knife or you have bigger hands. Uh, they're both really solid. Even the mini is not mini. I can still get a full purchase on it. Um, Typically I like a bigger knife, like the Beluga compared to this. But in this instance, I think I almost uh would rather take the mini, which is rare for me to say, but the mini Beluga is the one I would go for, especially for like in the base version for like 10 more bucks. Um you can't beat the 14C and the G Mascus that they do or the carbon fiber now. Carco, member the G Ballers. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Kev and Asher both ship very fast. Yeah, I was. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a. Are you kidding? If you're looking for that deal, this is it. What is this finish right here? Stone washed. So is it a heavy stone wash or oh, and he's keeping the show side clean now and just putting the AK right on the pivot. That is money. Yeah, I'm the same way, James, but I'm telling you, considering the materials and considering I can still get a nice full purchase on there, that I would go with that one for just a few more bucks. In your order comments, say G Ball sent me though. That would be funny. But you need to do that though if you get one from there. The carbon fiber, the G Mascus looks good, but the carbon fiber guys, that is money. Money. It's rain. I believe it's raindrop carbon fiber. That's what it looks like. Yeah, James. Or you can go with the carbon fiber, man. The raindrop carbon fiber. If you don't like this, then they have some G10s and G Mascus and whatnot. But yeah, it's really solid, really good feeling in the hand. It's a good stone wash. It looks nice and deep, like a nice deep dark one. My brothers showed up and brought me a box of Tampax. Good for you, Crispy. I knew you could use some of that stuff. Crispy coming in hot with the crispy 9 months. Hit him with the G balls. Yeah, the raindrop, you don't see that much, but I like it. So are all the members commented on that video? On the member video? Because we're gonna run it because I think Loot will be coming on here any momento. Any momento. So I'm gonna get this rolling here. Boom. 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 7. Boom. Okay. That looks pretty good. So unless we have somebody who says I'm not done, I'm getting ready to run this. Gons, what's up, buddy? Did I say what's up to you? What's up, brother? What up? What up? No, it'd be my dad. Yeah, 61. Yeah. Hey, look at that. I was watching Javon's last night. I don't think I I don't think I was talking in the chat, but I saw him messing around with this and I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't even know it had this." I thought you had to do just the whatever. So wait a minute. Whoops, what'd I do? Should we do this, the wheel? So Jake just won a max ace behind the edges live stream. No kidding. You're not sharing? I am now though, right? I was listening. I knew some people were gonna tear Pocket Metal up. Should we do the wheel? There's a difference between several hundred years ago when people were coming into the country. There was really no established, you can't compare that long ago to now. You just can't compare. It's two totally different times. What did Playosaurus win? Rocking my Wii Sentinel Strike. Nice. Yeah, good point. All right, guys, you ready? All right, here we go. This is for, should we do the sheepdog first or the Trivisa first? Do first or second first? First one to say one of the two, and we're going with it. Let the first winner choose. Okay, let's do it. How do I start? Oh, here. Here we go, baby. Hey, look at that. It doesn't. Oh, there it is. I was going to say it doesn't bring it up. Holy smokes. Hell yeah, a piece of G-Ball history would be cool as hell to win. I just won a Savivi Ortis bundle from Atlantic Knife yesterday. Holy smokes, man. Okay, Bubba. Congratulations, brother. Gracie, not right now, sweetie. Shoot me an email. Too much going on. I think you already have my email, dude. Are you in here still, or did he have to leave? See, that's the thing with letting him pick. I guess he might have left. Yeah, I think he left. We'll have to do. I forgot about it too. We'll have to do. How do I do it? Oh, right here. Which one? We'll do a chat vote. And I'll bring up the... Yes for the Kaiser, no for the Trivisa. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. All right, here we go. I'll keep it on the wheel till it ends, and then we'll scroll down because I can't barely read that crap. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Blade Walker. I'm excited for anything, G-Ball, but it doesn't matter what it is, my guy. Hell yeah, man. Blade Walker. Always watching the videos, too. Always heavy hitting it. Congratulations, man. You haven't won much, have you? Wasn't I could have swore it was you was one of the people saying, "Hey, I hadn't won anything." Is that your first win? Is what I'm asking? Yeah, that's awesome. Hit him with the G balls, baby. Yeah, that's cool, man. Blade Walker and WG, they stay heavy hitting on the comments too. Oh, maybe it wasn't you. I won one other time here. Oh, look at that. See, you become a member here and you might win just a couple of times. What which one you going with, man? You want the you want to do the sheepy dog or whoops. You want to do the sheepdog or the Trivisa? Which one you want to go with, man? Sheepdog in Macarta and the 154 or the Trivisa. And then the other will go to Wheezy Wayne. Oh, and you gotta pick out a Hank too, man. Sheepdog, I got Travis, buddy. What do you mean? Tactical Terry, member of the G Ballers. What's up, buddy? Are you saying you want the sheepdog or you want the other one because you have one? Let me know. Let me know. And we gotta I gotta grab the Hanks too. Yeah, I'm telling you, it pays to become a member. It does though, really. There's some months we do 8 member giveaways in the month. That's freaking that's pretty sweet. I got Trivisa. I meant I want the sheepdog. Okay, dude. You got it. So Blade Walker is getting the sheepdog and WG is getting I think he just left too. He said he had to go do something. I forget what it was, but he's usually here. So let me grab the Hanks and stuff too. JD gifted another membership. Holy smokes. Crewware. Crewware picked it up. Welcome, buddy. I don't know if you're listening or what. Let me see what else I got. So we got the Hanks. We got the Hanks. And we got, so I got some Dugan stickers. I have some Issuing Stitches pins. And I was thinking about it next weekend. So it'll either be, I haven't decided yet, but next weekend or the weekend after that. Next weekend or the weekend after, we're going to run the 7K giveaway, okay? The main prize is going to go to a member. And it's going to be massive. It's going to include the satchel that BNA, if as long as BNA is on with this idea, we're going to include that satchel that has a bunch of crap in it. We're also going to include one of Brian's ferro rods. That's going to go in with it. So once you guys see that, you're going to crap your pants. And then we're also going to we'll probably hold a public giveaway. Plus, we might have a second members giveaway also. So it'll either be next weekend or the weekend after. But I haven't decided yet. But it'll be banging if we can do that. Sharp Guy, you're welcome, buddy. I forget who it was. We've had a couple people gifting some stuff. Um, I'll have to talk to BNA. I'll probably do, if it's going to be this weekend, I'll probably do the video this week for that. Um, we'll have to play that by ear. No, Gons, but I'm proud of you. Now I want you to go sit down in it, and I want you to stew in the smell. So, BW, we got an EDC sized Star Wars Hank. We have an EDC sized Casino Hank. We have an EDC sized Coffee Hank, red stuff, red carbon fiber. The Casino one has black. The Star Wars one has blue. And then I believe, yeah, this is a full size, I think. Or no, I forget. It's either full size or the medium one. But it's a alien UFO black carbon fiber. And if I can ask y'all to do a favor, open up another tab or do it when you leave. But go give Issuing Stitches, if you're on Instagram, give Issuing Stitches a follow on there. He sends the Hanks in, and all he asks is if people give him a follow. He doesn't even ask that, but I am, because he's awesome. So give him a follow. I'll have to buy some more off of him or something. Which one did you want, BW? Or did you fall off your chair? Expect a new from the Blade Walker. Alien, but like I said, I'm happy for any is my first Hank. Yes, he does, James. And G-Ball 10 will get you 10% off your order. Let's do the alien then, man. We'll do the alien. You get to choose, brother. So if you want the alien, it's yours. If you want one of the other couple, it's yours. You just pick. To be honest, it depends. If you're going to be using it at home and this is your first one, I'd probably get a full-size one. But, since this is your first one, I'd probably go full-size and use this at home, on all your various stuff, your knives, your glasses, camera screens, whatever. Then I'd get an EDC one or two, one for the vehicle and one for your pocket or whatever. Later, Kaleidoscope. All right, alien. Sweet. So that's pretty sweet, man. Alien and the sheepdog. And got a Issuing Stitches pin. Issuing Stitches pin. Stay sharp, Issuing Stitches. And then I got some Swiggity swag for you. Couple of my stickers. EDC and Lancelot Roundtable. And a Dugan sticker. And then I might throw some more crap in there too. We'll see. We'll see how much crap I have. Hey, thanks, Kaleidoscope. Have a good weekend, man. Yeah, no problem, Louie. Yeah, man, that'll be a bad mamba jamba there. For 135, I'll take that all the day. But yeah, if you go to Etsy, go to Issuing Stitches. He's got a bunch of different sizes, I believe. He uses different microfiber colors, different patterns. Make sure you look through everything, and you can only use the code once in a 24-hour period. So don't buy something and then look around and find out, oh, you want something else. Then the code won't work. It's set to reset every 24 hours. So had a couple people do that. They buy something and then use the code, and then they keep looking and find they want something else, and then the code don't work. So that's happened a couple of different times. Gons is awesome at posting us little guys. Titanium Justin, member of the G Ballers. What up, buddy? Brian Tays, what's up, buddy? Member of the G Ballers. Yeah, massive hunk of 154 for sure. I need to invest in a taller chair. Yep, we all need to stick together. There's somebody, who was it? There's a couple guys getting real close to 1K. We need to get them to 1K. There you go, right there. Brian just posted it, guys. I know Etsy can be a pain sometimes. You type in you type in the company and then it brings up a bunch of products, and sometimes it might be confusing. So there's the link to his Etsy shop. If you have an Instagram, go over there, give him a follow. Yeah, give him a follow on IG. He's trying to grow a small private business in Pennsylvania, and he's a huge supporter of the channel. So that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. All right, brothers. Is Loot on? We can send a direct link over there. Yeah, he's on. So if you're just hanging out and you're not doing a whole lot, or if you can, go tune into the Loot Meister. Loot is on right now. Brothers and sisters, yes. We do have a couple sisters in here. We got Betty, Kathleen, Iggy. We got quite a few girls in here, actually, which is awesome. My analytics say there probably is only like those 4 or 5 females that watch, but that's a good start. That's better than 0. So that's awesome. Yeah, Iggy's back. I bet there's 6 to 10 females. So glad to have y'all if you're in here. But Ludi Meister, he's on. He needs subs. So give him a sub too. Yes, I'll probably stop over there and say what's up. But yeah, head over to Loots and say what's up. And have a good weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Congrats to all the new members. Congrats to Blade Walker and WG. Hope you guys had a good time. I will see you guys on Monday, and keep your eyes peeled for that really sick giveaway. Got a couple of items to get together and make a couple of packages. Love you guys. Anyone who comes and watches after it's over, got quite a few people who do. Thank you guys as well. Means a ton. Have a safe weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Love y'all. Peace.